Welcome to Nearmap NAVIG8 2022. My name is Steve Santovasi. I'm a solution product manager here at Nearmap, and I have the pleasure of co-presenting with Geoff Taylor, who's the manager of solutions architecture. Together, we want to present and demonstrate on the exciting topic of creating 3D web mapping applications with the incredible Nearmap 3D and AI data in ArcGIS Online. For many years, we've been working to get to a point in 3D mapping technology where we're able to present an entire city, a campus, a project, or a utility corridor in 3D and overlay other relevant data sets to help create a true digital twin environment. The Nearmap imagery products, like the 3D mesh, 3D point clouds, dozens of AI extracted feature layers, and the digital terrain model, along with high-resolution ortho and oblique imagery, can give insight and locational intelligence to an area of interest. Add to that the ability to view the data historically and know that as part of a subscription with Nearmap, that area would be continually captured and updated going forward, making that digital twin a reality, even a virtual reality. Nearmap's MapBrowser is a great way to view the imagery products that are available in a simple, easy-to-use 3D environment. Let's take a look. In this quick 1-minute video segment, we're going to show the 3D mesh for a city, to be able to visualize in 3D what's taking place in that city to help monitor. In this case, giant infrastructure projects on the highway, urban development in a section of a neighborhood, improvements to the wastewater treatment facility, how to manage vegetation and access at the water utility storage tanks, and even how to manage golf courses and other parks and recreational areas. You can do visual inspections on the buildings and campuses for your education complexes and government facilities, all from your desktop inside of Nearmap's MapBrowser. That was pretty incredible by itself, but many organizations and communities have an investment in the Esri platform, not only for performing desktop analytics and cartography, but to leverage the ability to host geospatial data either with ArcGIS Online on the web or internally with ArcGIS Enterprise. These organizations can be hosting many types of geospatial data that help them to monitor progress, condition, and compliance, like environmental inspections, wetlands and zoning, threatened and endangered species, culturally sensitive locations, safety compliance, building and construction inspections, design and as-built models from CAD and BIM, even weather, traffic, and live IoT sensors. When we can bring these things together in a common operating environment, the value of each piece exponentiates for all stakeholders. Let's take a look. In this example, we're going to look at some Nearmap data that we've extracted from MapBrowser, including 3D point cloud data, city scale 3D mesh. We could monitor construction and development from our built environment. We can look at some of the AI-based features that were extracted, including building footprints and solar panels, as well as pools and trampolines and more. Be able to monitor our environment through operations dashboards to show statistics and KPIs, and even put together some inspection web applications to be able to monitor the progress on those inspections. So that's a look at what we want to build and why we want to build it. Next, we'll actually look at how we're going to build it. So first, we're going to extract the data from Nearmap's MapBrowser. Then we're going to bring it into ArcGIS Pro for offline analytics and configuration to publish it out. So let's hand it over to Geoff Taylor to take us through those workflows.
Thanks, Steve, and sure thing. Let's begin by opening up Esri's ArcGIS Pro desktop software, where we'll be creating our 3D base map. Let's do this using a local scene, create a name, and choose where to save our project. The next step we need to do is navigate to Nearmap's MapBrowser and obtain our 3D base map data. For our project, we're going to be focusing on the eastern side of Waterbury, Connecticut, in an area called Crosby. Let's pan around in the Nearmap map browser until Crosby High School, Costco, and other shops become within view. There we go. To export data from this view, we're going to navigate to the Export tab on the side panel. From here, we can choose to export imagery, 3D data such as 3D mesh, point clouds, or AI vector data. In our case, let's choose 3D data. Then select the Nearmap survey data of interest, choose our projection, as well as the 3D format that we wish to export to. Since we're going to be working with the Esri software in this demo, let's choose the Esri Scene Layer Package, or SLPK, format. The next step is to define the area you wish to clip to. So you can either A, upload a GeoJSON file that contains a polygon and have that clip, or you can manually digitize a polygon just by clicking on the screen. Once complete, we're going to create a name for the project and then confirm our export. It may take a few minutes to download or process our 3D mesh. Once ready, you can just go click and download the Scene Layer Package file. We will then navigate to the ArcGIS Pro project folder that we generated on our machine and paste the Scene Layer Package file there. This is typically located under My Documents, ArcGIS, Projects, and my project name. But now let's then navigate back to ArcGIS Pro and open the Catalog side panel. And in order to see the newly added file, we must refresh our project folder. We will then drag and drop the file into the scene viewport. Once added, we can zoom in and navigate around the Nearmap 3D mesh. If you're ever working in disconnected environments or just want to run quick analysis on an area, you can take advantage of exploratory analysis tools located under the analysis ribbon at the top of the screen. Let's do this. Let's begin with the 3D section elevation profile. Let's choose a starting point and then draft until a termination point. This interactively helps provide a better understanding of the topography. We can also take advantage of other tools such as the viewshed tools to understand what's visible from a given location. Change the heading and even move it around. And in case we ever need to obtain rough estimates on how long or tall features are, we can use the measurement tools. I'm going to go here, we're going to click at the base from point A to point B and get an estimated distance. But in order to take advantage of sharing 3D data on ArcGIS Online or Enterprise, we will use the Share Package Geoprocessing tool, where we can select our Nearmap mesh, provide a brief summary, tags, credits, and additional parameters if necessary to upload the Nearmap mesh. Once uploaded, we can open the mesh in a 3D scene viewer. Similar to ArcGIS Pro, we will then navigate to a given location and add bookmarks to help guide the user experience. And then, once we do this, we'll save the web scene. Bookmarks are very easy to add. Just navigate to the Slides tab, and you can capture a slide. Give it a name, which is View 1, and then move to the next location and capture another slide. and on and on. Now let's save our 3D scene. We're giving it a name. Once we've done this, we could then conduct some 3D analysis on the web. Begin by assessing how shadows are cast throughout the day with the daylight tool. We can also change the base map style outside of the 3D mesh extent. Also, just like ArcGIS Pro, we can conduct measurements and elevation studies on the web. Start drafting. And we can get an idea roughly of how large this baseball diamond might be. Let's look at our section profile on the web as well. And we can see the change between the ground elevation and the 3D mesh and some of those building heights. And best of all, these web scenes can be shared and accessed by anyone across your organization. Back to you, Steve.
Thanks, Geoff. So that was a lot of information on the workflow to help get us from the Nearmap browser environment and into ArcGIS Pro for disconnected use and analysis by the GIS professional. So what we see here is some of the categories that have been saved out. You can see the scene layer that Geoff had published earlier, saved it as a web scene. We also did some extractions of AI data and hosted those to a web map in 2D. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at building a 3D application from this data. We'll go to the saved web scene and hit View Item Details. Once that gets loaded up, we'll see there's a tab here to create web apps. And you can see that we can create an Experience Builder app, an ArcGIS Story Map, Web AppBuilder, or Instant Apps. We'll click on Web AppBuilder. We'll name our application. We'll actually select a Launchpad theme. And then once it's loaded up, you can see that the name is up here. We have the ability to put some more widgets inside of here. So we'll go to the scene. We've already chosen the scene layer. We can identify whether we want to use the current state in the view or the default that comes with the web scene. We could start to add our widgets. So we could see up here we have 3 widgets available. Let's put one in there for daylight. Put our time zone. We'll put one in there to change our base map gallery. We'll hit OK. Maybe we'll put one in there to do some address searching. And we can actually use any of the layers to go through the address search as well. So now we have our actual widget controller bar here where we can go through and add more widgets to that. We can add a layer list. We can go through and add legend. Hit OK. And then maybe we want to be able to do some measurements inside of the window. And you can see that all those are added to the widget bar at the bottom here. And then all we have to do is save it, and then we can open it. So this is a look at opening up the application once we had saved it. We actually went in and added some of the other data sets that we exported from Nearmap in there. So in addition to the 3D mesh, we can actually put some of the point cloud data inside of there. Let's see when that loads up. We have the ability to look at our point cloud data in there. We actually can go through and put the point cloud layer over the top of the 3D mesh if we would like. Get a look at what that looks like. We can add our digital elevation model that can be extracted, the same way from MapBrowser that Geoff had showed us before. And essentially, we can look around inside of our data, and we have a fully functioning 3-dimensional web application right out of the box. Another way to create some really cool 3D web applications inside of ArcGIS Online is to actually open up the web scene. Once the web scene opens up and renders, it'll load the sidebar here. The bottom icon on the sidebar is another way to add applications. You can see the instant applications there again, Experience Builder, Story Maps, and 360 VR experience. So let's go through and create a VR experience. So we'll utilize this. We'll say this is what we want to publish out. And what it'll actually do then, while we're waiting for this to configure, is go through the web scene that we saved out and look at all of the thumbnails, and from those thumbnails, create virtual reality viewpoints from there. And once it finishes rendering those virtual reality images, you can open up ArcGIS 360 VR as the application inside of the gallery. It actually created a virtual reality environment where we could put on our Oculus headset, connect to this URL, and be able to look around in 3D. What you can do is go from slide to slide, and it changes your virtual reality vantage point from which you could look around from any or all of these. And we'll demonstrate what that looks like inside of the virtual reality headset. So what you see here is inside of the Oculus headset, selecting the application, entering the URL, clicking on the experience. You can see ArcGIS 360 VR loading. Once it loads up, you can see all the thumbnails in there, and inside of the headset, you can see those blue boxes on the top are actually each one of the bookmarks where they are in 3D. And you can look around the entire site inside of the application. You can click to another one of the blue boxes. It'll take you to that viewpoint. You can look around from there, completely in a 360 virtual reality environment. I know that was a massive amount of information to absorb in 20 minutes. We're hoping that you come away with the knowledge that Nearmap data in its 2D, 3D, and AI formats can bring incredible value to your ArcGIS applications, act as the source of truth for your built environment, and the foundation for your digital twin. The GIS professionals in your organization are moving beyond the traditional analyst and cartographer workflows and are quickly becoming the solutions architects, creating many of these incredible 3D web applications. Additionally, the duties of the GIS professional are to help expand the value of the data to all teams, departments, participants, and sometimes the public. That can be extremely valuable at every phase of an asset's life cycle, including urban planning, design and construction of major projects, to help with operations and maintenance tasks, or just to keep everyone updated on progress and status. Geoff showed us how to publish the data to ArcGIS Online or to an organization's ArcGIS enterprise environment. Once that data is hosted and available, it can be consumed and configured by any of the out-of-the-box applications that Esri offers. Though we're demonstrating how Nearmap can be used in the Esri environment, it can also be consumed by other platforms including CCM, Bentley, and Autodesk. I hope you have enjoyed the presentation today and have a better understanding of the value of Nearmap's geospatial data in the GIS industry. So to wrap it all up, we learned that Nearmap's MapBrowser can help you export your data for use in your Esri environment. ArcGIS Pro can consume the data to help you with offline analysis and mapping and help you prepare, configure, and publish the data to your ArcGIS Online or enterprise environment. And finally, that there are many simple, out-of-the-box 2D, 3D, and VR applications that you can have up and running in minutes. On behalf of myself and Geoff, thank you for joining in for NAVIG8 2022. Have a great day.